Hey everyone, welcome back to another video, and today we are going to be taking a look at this, which is the NECA Predator 2 Ultimate Shaman Predator. So, just like the Warrior Predator, I am a little late to the game with this one. I know everyone and their grandmother has been reviewing these, and yeah, really sorry about that, guys. I have had this for quite a while now, but finally getting round to reviewing it and taking a look at it, so I'm really excited, and I hope you guys are excited to see this as well, because most of you have probably already seen reviews of it. But nevertheless, let's get into this awesome figure. So taking a look at the packaging, I absolutely love this artwork that they're using, and just there's a little signature by the person who has done it. And yeah, it's very cool, very comic book like, and it just really makes this figure stand out. Like, the boxes are artwork themselves, you know, which is why it's very rare that I'll actually throw a NECA box away, because it's just got so much character to it. So on the side, just as all of the other figures in this wave, you have Predator 2 with the sort of spaceship and trophy display case background. Then we have number 7 in the line, the Ultimate Shaman Predator. The same on the other side, except for this it's the 30th anniversary of Predator 2, which is I think it was 2021, was it not? I think we're a bit past it now, but yeah, that's when the line started. On the back, you've got some awesome promotional images of the figure, some very awesome images indeed, and you have a description of the character, which you guys can pause if you want to read. And then just showing off the other Predators in this line, very cool. So far, we have the boar, the snake eye, and the greyback, and then we are finished. So opening up the box, you have another awesome display image of the figure, very nicely posed with the Predator 2 trophy case background, which is actually a background that NECA has made. I really hope they can re-release that just to make it a bit easier to get, because I would love to get that personally. And then you have the figure very nicely displayed in this awesome window box with all of his accessories, and once again continuing the sort of Predator 2 spaceship background design. So very cool, but we're not here just for the box, we're here for the figure, so let's get him out the box. Okay guys, and here is the Shaman Predator out of the box. I mean, what can I say about this figure that probably hasn't already been said? This is absolutely incredible, and I mean that sincerely. I mean, it's just phenomenal. I love his design so much. It's very bare bones. It's very, I don't know, like, it's minimalistic, but it's so cool at the same time. He does have a very shaman kind of look, very hippie look to him. Comparing this to the Warrior Predator, who had the shortest dreads, this guy has the longest dreads I've ever seen on a Predator, even longer than the Ahab's, I think. So this is awesome, and there's plenty of them. They even have some, he even has some tied back in a sort of bun here, or not a bun, but, you know, just tied back with this little bone and cloth looking thing. Very awesome. Now what's interesting is his armor is a kind of mishmash between the jungle and the city hunter here. So he has the city hunter cover with the jungle hunter cover on the top, so that's really cool. It's a nice attention to detail. He does even have a little bag here, which is really cool, and then you've got all these little bits of bones and cloth, you know, just keeping all his clothing together. He's got more pouches here, and you can also see his disc holder, which actually has the disc sculpted in. So even though this Predator does come with discs as an accessory, you can't actually place it in there. It's actually sculpted and painted in there, which is fine, because, you know, obviously it would have been difficult with this pouch on the top to get that in there. Because he's a shaman, he's covered in like this very voodoo kind of stuff. He's got this big sort of cloth around his neck, and you've got his bone necklace, which is nice. In fact, I haven't seen a Predator with a bone necklace for quite some time. I don't think the City Hunter Predators ever had them, so it's nice to see this one with them. A very awesome looking head sculpt. Now, this is the head sculpt that he comes with in the packaging, fresh out the box, because usually they put the helmeted heads on, but no, he does look like this. And this is actually what he looks like in the film. Now, this Predator obviously does come with a very awesome masked head, but this actually isn't in the film. Now, I'm going to assume that this is from the comic books, where obviously these characters were expanded upon, but as you see him in the movie and as you saw him in the original release of this figure, he is just a standard Predator head with really long dreads, but despite that, it's still a very, very cool look. I really like it. So fortunately, and I've said this before, I actually really prefer the Predator figures that have less armor, and one of the reasons for that is because the armor tends to hinder the articulation so much. So thankfully, due to the lack of gauntlets and other pieces which I'm always afraid to break if I put too much pressure on, you can move this guy really, really freely, and I'm very happy with that. So his head is on a ball peg joint. Thankfully, this head isn't loose. It's actually very, very tight, which is nice. You've got the side-to-side motion. You can do a full 360, but you're going to be competing with these dreads, so I wouldn't recommend that you do it. You can look forward really far, which is nice, and also up really far, which is even nicer. And you can bring his arms slightly out, but there I was just saying with armor, it is slightly hindered, unfortunately. You do have a full 360 on both biceps, but you have to be careful with this one because it has the rubber armor attached to it. You have a full double joint at the elbow, so you can bring your arms right the way up. You can move your hands forward and back and full 360 them if you want to. There is no rotation at the wrists like there normally is because it's just one sculpted piece, so yeah, but I'm still happy that there's no gauntlet there, which I could potentially break. He's got a very good ab crunch. You can rotate it, you can move it forward quite the way, and also back quite the way, which is really nice. Like I say, nothing on his back either, so nothing I'm afraid I'm going to break, so I really can move this guy a lot better. You've got a full 360 at the waist as well, and you can move forward and back ever so slightly, but not as much as the ab crunch. His legs can kick forward about this far, but you don't want to warp this PVC plastic. There is also a swivel at the legs, and also a really good double knee bend here, which you can bring his leg right the way back. No further though, because the sculpting of the leg guard is hindering it. And then you do have the feet, which are on ball pegs, so you can go from side to side, forward and back, and do a full 360 if you want to. So yeah, really great articulation, nothing that we haven't seen before. And I will just state this again, I did have the same issue that I had with my Warrior Predator. When taking this guy out of the box, his legs did not want to move, so I actually had to kind of pull them out and then reattach them to get them to finally move. Thankfully, I didn't break the figures in doing that, so if I have this problem again, I'll just remember to do the same thing. It's annoying that you have to do that, and I'm not happy, right? I'm not happy at all, but you know, like I say, I've done a whole video on this in my NECA Guardian Predator review plus rant. If you go check that out, I'll explain everything as to why I'm really annoyed. But thankfully, both of the swivel joints work on this, so all of my articulation functions, which is great. You know, I'm not going to take that away from the figure, that's fantastic, but really, NECA, it's kind of bad that this is happening. You know, there's a chance articulation couldn't work on a figure that you're paying premium price for. So yeah, just come on, start sorting your shit out, NECA. So turning to accessories, we've got 3 interchangeable hands, which seems to be the standard. We have one hand which is sculpted to hold his disc, but I also feel as though it is sculpted to help hold other things, such as the skull that comes included. You can kind of mix mash or do whatever you want with this, but yeah, it's a hand that's got a good shape to it, so it can sort of hold things, but it is sort of relaxed as well. You have a hand which is fully clenched, which really would be for a gauntlet, you know, as a kind of slash hand, but in this case, it can be used to hold his staff, which does slide in there very, very well, but I'll get to this staff in just a moment. And then lastly, you have this hand, which is sculpted to hold his weapons, and it does grip them really, really well. Just be careful when getting the weapons into the hand, so that he has this axe here and a dagger, but we'll get onto those just a bit shortly. So just put his hands there for now. So as I said, despite the fact that the disc is technically sculpted into his waist piece, he does come included with both the open and the closed version, and these have been painted in a very metallic shiny silver, which is the first. Usually they're more of a gunmetal grey, so this is the first for these. That looks very cool. As I've just shown you guys, he does come with a bloody skull and a bloody dagger, which is awesome. It's almost like he's performing a ritual on the skull, which is very cool. Really, really happy that he comes with that. And then he also does come with this, which is a skull axe, which is just amazing. So it's a skull on a spine, what you've seen before, but somehow he's been able to kind of attach a blade actually through the bone, and you can see where it's split. So this is not a reused sculpt. As you can see, it's even got this bit protruding out here. This is entirely brand new, and it's awesome. I love it. It's so, so unique. But what would a shaman predator be without a staff, a sort of witchcraft staff? And as you can see, you've got all your bones and different things protruding off it. These aren't real string. These are actually just sort of soft plastic, so be careful with them. You've got the sort of the posts here, and then you have two blades, so he can use it as a weapon as well as a staff. Now, in the box, he does come with these relaxed hands, so if you want to pop those off, very simple. I did forget to show that in my Warrior Predator review, sorry about that, guys. So you can just take another hand and then just very easily twist it in there. So that works very, very well. And then we'll take his shaman staff. And like I say, when it comes to these little pouches, you will have to separate the fingers slightly just to get it through, but you can do that, no problem. And there he is with his shaman staff. Very, very cool. I absolutely love it. And I just think it adds something so unique to the figure. But what we also do have is a very awesome accessory, which is something that I've never seen on a Predator before. And I think it just completes the look so much for this guy. We have an actual cloth cloak for him to wear. Now, this does have a bendy wire inside it at both sides, so you can actually pose the cloth in a sort of action pose if you want to. It's very shredded, you know, as you can see, it's kind of just been trimmed here to give the illusion that it's really seen better days. You've even got some holes trimmed in it. Now, unfortunately, something that does make me worry about this is the threads do tend to come loose quite a bit. Like, I don't know if you can see this, guys, and whatever you do, don't pull on them, because the more you pull on them, the more you're just going to tear them out, and eventually it will just wear and wear over time. I mean, that might make it look cooler, but I wouldn't personally do that. So in order to put this on, you do have to pop off the head, which we will be doing in just a moment. So I may as well show you guys this, which is his alternate head, and my god, is this not just the coolest thing that you've ever seen? So it is a skull mask of some kind of creature that the Predator has hunted, and my god, I mean, this just makes it look like something straight out of a horror film. You've still got those really nice long dreads, but you can actually see, it's very difficult to see on camera. I'll try and get the lighting on it. So you can, no, that is very, very difficult to get the lighting on it. You can actually see the Predator's face in there and his eyes, which is really cool. And when you do get the light on them, they actually do glow. And just look how well they've been painted. Like, they've kind of got this red outline around the yellow. It almost looks like a Sith from Star Wars. Like, you know, when they get possessed, their eyes kind of look like that. Very, very cool. I absolutely love this. So, as previously mentioned, guys, if we want to get the cape on, we do have to pop off this head. So we'll do that right now. And reveal the ball peg joint underneath. Now, you can, I don't think you can remove this neck piece. You might be able to, but I personally am not going to do that because it does sit on there really, really nicely. So what we'll do is we'll take our cloak and just make sure that the triangle piece is pointing downwards, so you know which is the front and the back. And then you just slip that on. Take your alternate head. Just wiggle that on, nice and easy. What I like to do then is just bring the dreads that have been tucked around the back to the front, so you can continue that sort of long hair look. And also, when the cloak is on, don't be afraid to just adjust the bendy wire slightly, just to get it to sit more comfortably on him. Of course, it's really entirely up to you guys. You know, you've got a lot of control with this bendy wire, so you really can display him however you want to. And so here we have the shaman fully looking like a badass shaman with his awesome cloak and mask on. I mean, doesn't this just really reinvent this figure? You know, a figure that can achieve two different, you know, entirely different looks in one package is an absolutely brilliant figure to me, and this one just achieves that perfectly. So if you guys do want to adjust the cloak, you can do so. Like I say, because of the bendy wire, you can bend it one way, maybe up, and have it looking almost as if it's blowing in the breeze, which is a look that some people do like to go for. But it just goes to show you the level of freedom that you have with this figure, and I simply have to commemorate NECA for how well this has been made. In fact, this is absolutely fantastic. Now, just before we finish up, I'll just take a look at his regular head, and it's everything that, you know, is good about NECA's sculpts and paintwork. It's got a really nice shiny look to it. You've got the patterns, which have been very nicely printed on there. Unfortunately, my eyes are looking off to one side, but at least they're looking in the same direction. The mouth has gone back to the traditional pink inside, which is very good. And yeah, it's a very great head sculpt, so if you're looking for a more movie-accurate look, you might just want to go with this without the cloak. However, I'm not going to lie, I think this look right here just sells this figure for me perfectly. I think it's absolutely fantastic. So, overall, what do I think of this Shaman Predator? I mean, a solid 9 out of 10 for me. Despite it having a few issues, like I say, same with the Warrior Predator, had to sort of operate on the legs to get them to work, which was annoying. Once I did get it working, I'm really struggling to find fault with it. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. The poses you can get this guy in, the various different weapons and things you can use. I mean, the options are limitless with this guy, to be honest, and I'm just going to say out straight, I think this is the best Predator in the Predator 2 line so far. Will this be topped by Boar's Snake Eye or Greyback? We'll have to wait and see, but for now, this one definitely holds the crown for me. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I'm sorry it's taken me so long to get round to reviewing this awesome Predator. I hope you're all safe and happy. Leave a like on the video, comment down below, let me know what you think of this guy. Stay safe and happy wherever you are in the world, guys, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.